Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another story time this week. I am super pumped to be back at Storytime after taking about 6 months off. And in that 6 months, I had a lot of time to travel, and I was able to visit some of the national parks in our country that I had never visited before, and that was super cool. So we're going to celebrate that this week because in the United States, this week is National Parks Week. So a long time ago, we looked around our country and thought, wow, we have some really cool places in this country. And the government protected those places and made them public lands. And federally, there's a lot of different ways that they could do that. Some of them might be national parks, some might be national forests or national monuments. You maybe have visited a battlefield or a national lake shore or a national seashore or a wildlife refuge. So there's tons of different ways they came up with to protect some of these really special places in the United States so that everybody like you and me can go to visit them and be able to walk around and see what's there. Now, there's something else really cool happening this week. Does anybody know what happens on Friday, April 22nd? And if you said Earth Day, then you are correct. So Earth Day is a super exciting day for us at Happy Dancing Turtle, even though we feel like every day is Earth Day and we work hard every day to protect the planet. It's really awesome when the whole world joins us in celebrating the Earth. So there's tons of events going on for Earth Day. If you look up local events, you'll probably find something pretty close to you that you might want to participate in. There's tons of Earth Day fairs where they have different lectures and talkers and educational events. There's sustainability fairs where they might help you connect with organizations in your community to live a little bit more sustainably or in a way that's a little bit better for the planet. There are lots of different cleanup events, so people picking up litter on roadsides or highways or even along our rivers and waterways. There's tons of different ways for you to get involved. There might be a recycling drive going on near you or where they're collecting certain waste materials that might be kind of hard to get rid of. So make sure to check out your local options for what's going on for Earth Day. So our story today is going to be a little bit about our national parks. And then also a little bit about how we need to protect not just our parks, but our planet as a whole. And this is a book that I picked up in my travels at one of the parks. And as I read our story today, I want you to see if you can recognize any of the places in the picture. Maybe you've been to some of them before. There's a pretty popular national monument in there and some of the more popular national parks, and even the only national park that is in Minnesota. Does anybody know what our one national park is? Voyageurs National Park. So see if you can spot it in our story today. Without further ado then, our story is called Chickadee Land. It was written by Bill O. Smith and illustrated by Charles R. Murphy. And you can see it says right on it, celebrating national parks. So it was perfect for this week. There's a little quote at the beginning of the book, and I got a super cool copy signed by the author. I'm a big book nerd, so I love when I get an author signed copy. It says, "Here is our country. Cherish these natural wonders. Cherish these natural resources for your children and your children's children," by Theodore Roosevelt. So Theodore Roosevelt was a really important person who helped get our national park systems set up. He was a president of the United States, and he felt like these areas should be protected, not just for us to see, but for our children to see and our children's children. And that all ties in really well with Earth Day, right? About taking care of the planet in a way that future generations, your kids, can also enjoy the planet. All right, here we go. Chickadee Land. Once upon a time in Chickadee Land, Grandpa and Cora Lou were up very late and giggling very loud. Others in the house had had enough. "Enough! Settle down! Time for bed!" My, Grandpa winked. "You heard what they said." Instead, Imagine. Imagine we tiptoe outside by a silver stream. There's the moon. Now follow the beam to a magical place beyond the river, where fireflies sparkle and tall trees shiver. There, can you count all the holes in those trees? Can you see the holes? Can you count them? Each hole is a home for chickadees. They're sleeping now, as you should be. But here's what I wonder, strange as it seems. What kind of dreams do chickadees dream? Good question. Do they dream of the feast that Papa brings? Of snuggling under Mama's wing? Of singing like the nightingale sings? Or do they dream of silly things? Some of you might have been to this spot. Like dancing a jig on ostrichy legs, or laying ginormous ostrichy eggs. Do they dream of hiding near bunny clouds, far above admiring crowds? Are they king and queen of the birdie parade, basking in flamingo shade, munching fat tweedles and barbecued beetles, and drinking from fountains of wormalade? Would you guys drink lemonade made from worms? Do they walk the plank one by one, then swim with sharks just for fun? Or do their dreams follow the sun? In spring, dreams of color. In summer, webbed feet. In autumn, a costume. In winter, the heat. Welcome, part-time state birds. Come home, you are missed. The chickadees missed the robin. That's sweet. And of all their dreams, great and small, is the silliest, daffodiliest dream of all. A loopy, hoopy, alley-oopy ride on the epic Brontosaurus slide? Wee, ooh, ah, ee. And from that slide, do they launch to the sky? And sail with eagles and fly on a soaring dream through Chickadee Land, from coral reef to canyon grand. There's 2 national parks. From Rockies to Smokies to Lighthouse Shore, through redwood and birchwood and sycamore. So if you can see it, this is all the United States, from the West Coast, where the redwoods are, in the Rocky Mountains, through the Smoky Mountains, and up to Maine, where the lighthouses are. You can see the Great Lakes poking out too. Over bears and geysers and bears in dunes. Sleeping bear. Do they skim by moonlit wolves and loons? Voyagers. Through arches and caves. To a big river bending. Past ancient forest and glacier ending. By native kiva and tower of stone. Do they dream of flying where no one has flown? Do they zoom by hoodoo and crater and dome, then turn around and fly away home? Home where chickadee dreams come to rest, in a little hole on a little nest. Not far from where you lay your head, with Big Bunny on a small bed. Now here's what I know, and your bunny knows too. When those birds took flight, so did you. Only the fearless heart of a child can follow a dream into the wild. and your good heart will always be as brave as the bravest Chicka. Listen. Phoebe, Phoebe. His still small voice is our reminder. We must be kinder. Whatever his dreams, wherever he flies, we share the same trees, we share the same skies. From grisliest bear to busiest bee, from wetland flower to desert tree. To you and me and chickadees, we share this land together. So tonight, hug Big Bunny and I'll hug you. Dream sweet dreams, and silly ones too. Tomorrow, Braveheart, there's much to do, much to share. Magical places are everywhere. So all of us have a responsibility to care for these magical places on Earth because we share them with all the other animals, right? It's showing us a map of some of the magical places in Chickadee Land. You can see all these orange numbers are national parks. These blue ones are national lake shores. The pink ones are national seashores. So they're showing us 3 different kinds of lands that are protected in the national park system on this map. Now, instead of activities like I normally post, this book has some questions in the back of it for you to discuss as a family, which I think is pretty cool. So I'm going to read the questions pretty slowly, but feel free to pause the video after I read a question, and you could discuss it as a family, as a group of friends, as a classroom, wherever you might be, or you could just think about them by yourself if you're not with anybody else, and that's okay too. So here are our questions. Number 1, what national parks, shores, and monuments has your family visited? Number 2, which ones are your favorites? Number 3, what is the only national monument shown in Chickadee Land? Ooh, there's a hint on this page. Number 4, when you visit a park, what do you like to see and hear? Number 5 is what do you like to touch and smell? Number 6, study the picture labeled glacier on the next page. What is happening to the glacier and to the forest? Number 7, what little bird flies in every state in North America and most parks? Big hint, see the book title. Or see this little birdie right here. Number 8, what national park, shore, or monument would you like to visit next? Number 9, in words or pictures, Chickadee Land celebrates at least 20 national parks and lakeshores. Can you name 10? You might have to rewind our story time and go back and look at some of the pages to name 10. Number 10, tomorrow, Braveheart, there's much to do as part of the last sentence of the story. Tomorrow, what can you do to help our parks or our planet? And that's the question I want you to focus most on as we head into Earth Day on Friday. Okay. So thank you for tuning in for our story time. I hope you enjoyed getting a look through Chickadee Land into the dreams of the chickadees as they fly through so many of our national parks or our national monuments or lake shores. I think it's really cool to see what the chickadees might see and think about what they dream about. I hope you can find a way to help the planet on Friday for Earth Day. You can answer any of those questions in the book in our comments down below. We'd love to hear from you, or tell us what you're going to do on Earth Day to help a park or a planet this year. I'll be back in 2 weeks with another new story time, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.